Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Mike and Beans. I'm Beans, and I'm with Mike.
What's up? What's up?
We're going to start with the NFL again. 3 weeks have gone by, and I'll say it politely. The rookies suck. So far. Just so far.
Just quarterbacks.
Ah, yes. Rookie quarterbacks. I do apologize. Rookie quarterbacks suck so far. 9 total touchdowns, 18 interceptions, and a combined 1-9 record. Is that bad?
It's not good. Not good.
Yeah. So, my question for you, Mike, is why are we seeing such bad performances from rookies? And I would say it's probably not surprising in like some sense, rookie QBs, big upgrade from college. You gotta adjust to the NFL a little bit, but 9 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. Now, Zach Wilson has almost half of those, but answer, Mike, what you got?
First of all, shout out to the Jets fan who said Zach Wilson was a bust before week 1, before even preseason week 1. That's awesome. I feel like that guy's pretty happy with himself. But I mean, the rookie QBs stink. The one win is Mac Jones beating Zach Wilson, a rookie beating another rookie. So rookie QBs haven't beaten a non-rookie QB. They are awful this year. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, that Jags team is just terrible. There's nothing he really can do. They have no offensive line. They have no defense. They have no anything. Justin Fields. Oh my God. He got sacked 9 times. And Matt Nagy is the smartest man alive because he decided that even when with a mobile quarterback who's getting blitzed because the offensive line they have stinks and the defensive line of the Browns is awesome. So he decides we're never going to move the pocket. Never going to move the pocket. Never going to let him roll out. Never going to let him move, which is what he does best. He's going to be a pocket passer. I mean, it's almost like Nagy was sabotaging Justin Fields. I genuinely think there was some sabotage in there. I think he wanted to be, we need a veteran. Andy Dalton was right. Andy Dalton's the guy to start. I'm going to sabotage this kid. So he looks bad. That's how awful of a game plan he put up. 6 of 20, 68 yards. He was sacked for like 48 yards. I mean, I don't understand what Matt Nagy was doing. That's embarrassing. Zach Wilson just stinks. I mean, he stinks. He looks terrible. I mean, I hope he gets better. I mean, I mean, look, I'm rooting for all these guys. It's always fun to get some new blood going, but Zach Wilson stinks. Matt Nagy's a moron. Mac Jones is as average as ever been. And he does nothing special. Actually, he might even be below average. He just hasn't looked good. He might be the best rookie quarterback, and that is an incredibly low bar to clear because he looks terrible. So they all suck. I don't really know why. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to be a good player. I still believe in Trevor Lawrence. The Jags suck, but I still think he's a good player. Justin Fields, Matt Nagy should have been fired yesterday. The fact that he is still there is going to blow my mind for the rest of time. He is the worst coach in the NFL right now. He is sabotaging his players. He's starting Andy Dalton. He said this week that they have an open quarterback competition with 3 guys. Dalton, who's injured, Fields, and Nick Foles. He brought back Nick Foles. I don't know what he's doing. The best part about the Bears is that the Bears were good when Nagy gave up play calling duties. That's when they made the playoffs. He took them back this season.
Well, I've definitely gotten to the point in fantasy where whoever is either playing the Jaguars or the Jets, I would like to pick up their defense.
And start them immediately. Yep.
Yes. Because, just some of Zach Wilson's throws and decisions have been terrible. Just absolutely terrible. I mean, I don't think, he's not the tallest guy. He doesn't have exactly the biggest quarterback build, but he's got an arm. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's getting the gym too much, but he's overthrown. On a lot of his picks, he's just overthrown the guy by 20 yards. And if you're a Jets fan, I'm really sorry. I mean, it's nothing new. They've been trash for the last 10 years, but you came into this year hopeful that Zach Wilson could turn it around, the number 2 pick in the draft, and he's doing this.
So new coach too, Robert Saleh. I mean, he was a coach that people liked. I still think he's going to be a good coach. And There are bad teams, like the bad teams, but they look competitive. Like the Giants, they're 0-3, but they look competitive. They've competed in almost every single game they've been in. The Jets are not competitive in any game. The games are over at halftime. I mean, they suck. They suck beyond suck. They're the worst team in the league right now. The Jaguars have been competitive in games. The Jets aren't. They're just bad. I feel I feel bad. Jets fans, they haven't had it good for a while, and it's just even worse now.
Yeah. Well, we'll stay in the AFC East, and we'll talk about the return. It's possibly one of the biggest storylines this year.
Yep.
Tom Brady goes back to Foxborough and takes on the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. Now, building up to this week, a few stories have come out how, Brady and Belichick's relationship had declined since 2017, saying, Brady didn't want to play for Belichick, and Belichick was really stubborn. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Brady shows up, absolutely cooks Belichick in a kind of a revenge game, even though he won 6 Super Bowls with the franchise. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to watch. And, speaking of rookie quarterbacks, Mac Jones, that Bucs defense isn't bad. That Rams team kind of cooked them last week, but the Rams are good. The Rams are a good team. So, but I think Mac Jones struggles, and I'm expecting a blowout unless Bill Belichick has something up his sleeve. What you got on that game, Mike?
I feel like he should have something up his sleeve. This is the guy he saw in practice for all of his career, but the Bucs run defense is the best in the league. You don't run on the Bucs. You just can't. Their pass defense is not good. The Cowboys threw all over them. The Falcons did the same thing and could have won that game had Matt and Ryan not thrown 2 bobbled picks to the same dude who returned them for a touchdown. And the Rams threw all over them. Matt Stafford was dropping dimes here, there, everywhere. Their pass defense has been just bad. So that's what I got there. But Brady's going to come out. The revenge game narrative is overplayed, but with someone like Tom Brady, it's probably not overplayed. He's a crazy person. In all of the great ways, everything goes his way, and he is an awesome quarterback, but he is crazy. He will take these things super seriously. He's going to double down. And for normal people, you wouldn't have a look-ahead game against a 1-2 team that's starting a rookie quarterback. That game kind of felt like a look-ahead game. He was looking ahead to this game, going back to Foxborough, probably not expecting the best response, but he's going to get – if there is a New England fan that boos Tom Brady, fuck you. Just plain and simple, fuck you.
I agree. This man gave you 6 Super Bowls. 2 of which you cheated in, but 6 Super Bowls.
Maybe 5.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna be watching that game. I'll tell you that, because and the other game that I'm gonna be watching this week. Knowing me, I'm a college student. I'll sit on the couch all day and watch all the games.
Facts.
But Monday night, that Raiders and Chargers game. I thought I'd never say it. The 2 top teams. No, actually, well, technically, 1 top team and then a team tied for second in the AFC West. The
tied
Chiefs
for third. The Broncos are undefeated too.
I know, so it's tied for second. Raiders and Broncos are tied for first. I guess the Chiefs.
Okay.
Chargers are second.
You can play it any way you want.
Yeah, but anyway, the Chiefs are last in the AFC West, and because the Chargers beat them last week. But now we have Raiders on Monday Night Football. And Mike is not the biggest fan of the Raiders. He's not buying that 3-0 start, even though Derek Carr has looked amazing, in my opinion. But, Mike, why don't you buy the Raiders right now?
I'll dig that hole deeper. I'll dig until I can't dig anymore. This Raiders team is not good. They are not good. Bryan Edwards is not Terrell Owens. He's just not. He's come down with every single ball. He's not T.O. He's not Jerry Rice. He's not that guy. Hunter Renfrow looks good, though. He's open on every play. Bryan Edwards is so good, but he's not great. Derek Carr isn't good. He hasn't been good since that one season where he possibly could have been MVP, and then he tore his ACL. And it started Connor Cook, I believe, in that playoff game that they did not win. Gruden's not a good coach. This defense is not good. This roster is not good. And they play 3 teams that are probably overrated. The Steelers are as Steeler as it gets. Their offense is terrible. Their offensive line is terrible. Big Ben is awful. On a 4th and 10, he threw a check down. He looks horrible. There aren't enough people talking about how bad Big Ben looks. He looks about as bad as Zach Wilson does. The Dolphins were without Tua. They started Jacoby Brissett, took him to overtime. And if Brian Flores had a pair of balls, he would have went for it and they would have won the game. He played for a tie. Who plays for a tie in the NFL? Are you kidding me? And then the Ravens almost lost to the Lions. The Lions stink. Let's be real. They beat the Chiefs, sure. I think the Chiefs kind of, again, they have been sleepwalking the last couple of years in the regular season. It's catching up to them now. The Raiders have played 3 teams that are good but not great. They played above their ceiling, and it's going to come collapsing down. And the perfect time for it to come collapsing down is against Justin Herbert, Saint Hubert, and the Chargers in SoFi Stadium get their home stadium, bolt up, Chargers by 20 plus. Book it. Write it down. Set it for the record books. It's happening. Chargers by TKO, not even close. Game's over by halftime. Chargers are so much better than this team.
It's very possible that they have a 50-50 crowd on Monday. You know the Chargers, they don't like to show out that fan.
Yes, I know. The Chargers won't, but it helps the point of me making that I don't want to admit that I'm wrong, so I'm going to double and triple down. And if I have to admit that I'm wrong, I don't want to do that, so I have to double down. It's how sports talk radio works. I'm a media major. That's how my job works. You double down, you triple down, never admit you're wrong. And when you have to, you slightly concede and then concede that you were right somehow. So I got to use certain things. I got to lie about certain things to build momentum, even though there'll be like 4 Chargers fans there.
All right. Well, Justin Herbert looked great last week, 4 touchdowns, but Mike Williams, Keenan Allen first. Keenan Allen is being Keenan Allen, but Mike Williams looks amazing. He's just
my buddy Drew said he was really good in the beginning of the season, and I told him he was an idiot, and I don't want to tell Drew that he's right, but he is definitely right. Mike Williams looks really good.
Yeah,
I can't wait. He's going to get injured soon. He gets injured all the time, but until then, who knows? He looks awesome.
The Chargers are Chargers are the real deal. I thought I said in our first NFL preview episode. It is hard to go into Arrowhead and win, just in general. That place gets loud. Patty Mahomes at home. I mean, you don't see the Chiefs turn the ball over 3 times, 4 times. So that was un-Chief-like. But at the same time, you take what you get, and you take advantage of the opportunities that you get. And Chargers kind of did that. Going for it on that 4th and 10, that's ballsy.
Love it.
And it's kind of what won the Chargers game. So good for the Chargers. And yeah, that concludes our NFL talk. Anything else, Mike, on the NFL?
Not really.
All right.
I mean, footballs are still winning the Super Bowl. That's all that matters.
Yes. But anyway, we're going to move to the MLB. And I want to talk about the MLB because it's nuts right now. At least the American League wild card is nuts right now. So let me just give you a brief, setting of what's going on right now. So right now, there are 2 wild card spots, and there are 4 teams that have the chance to get it, that are in one game. The Yankees have the first wild card spot. Bravo to you, Mike. Yankees are at 90 and 68. The Red Sox hold the second spot, 89 and 69. The Mariners are a half game back of the Red Sox, 89 and 70. And the Blue Jays are 1 game back, 88 and 70. Now, a lot can change tonight. The Mariners don't play. They have an off night before they end the season against the Angels. Yankees are going up against probably the AL Cy Young and Robbie Ray against the Blue Jays. Huge game for the Yankees. I mean, huge game for both teams, obviously, but I feel like if the Yankees win this game and beat Robbie Ray, the Yankees might feel a lot more comfortable going into the series against the Rays. Now, I will say the Rays may or may not, I wouldn't say tank, but, rest their starters for the playoffs because the Rays have clinched the 1 seed throughout the playoffs. But I don't want that to happen. I'm sorry, Michael. I want the Rays to kind of play a spoiler to the Yankees.
Hate us because you ain't us.
But I think the Yankees are very talented offensive roster. Always in the playoffs, they have pitching. They just have pitching questions. Garrett Cole. The difference between the Garrett Cole ERA in the day and the night was I think Garrett Cole had about a 190 during the day and like a 470 at night. So, but Garrett Cole in prime time, you never know. I think Garrett Cole is one of the best pitchers in the league still. So, there's the Yankees. The Red Sox were one of the biggest surprises in the first half. I don't think anyone expected them to, be in first place come the All-Star break, but they've kind of fallen apart, in the second half, but they're still there. I just don't the Red Sox have talent. Xander Bogaerts, top 5 shortstop in the league. I mean, a healthy Chris Sale, maybe. Nathan Eovaldi has had a really good year. So the Red Sox are always, the Red Sox are there, and they can compete. But the one team that I think anyone should be afraid of, and if the Rays see them in the wild card, I think they should be a little scared, is the Toronto Blue Jays. They can have a top 5 rotation if they make it to the playoffs and they're healthy. Robbie Ray, Jose Barrios, and Ryu. And Robbie Ray has had an amazing month of August and early September. He was lights out. He was just cooking batters. And then the Blue Jays offense is very good too. George Springer, Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Those are pretty damn good bats. I forgot. Marcus Semien is the most home runs by a second baseman in MLB history. And then we'll go to the Mariners. The Mariners, I'm just a huge Mariners fan right now because of just the story. Every year you see the Mariners drop off in the second half of the season. Well, now they're here. They're 17-8 in the month of September, and they're kind of having a magical run. They're only hitting 226 as a team, which isn't great. But, you just got to believe. You just got to believe if you're the Mariners. And that's why I'm on the Mariners bandwagon right now. So, Mike, I know you're a Yankees fan, and I know you got something to say.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm going to steal something that I hope you were going to say at some point. Shout out to the Cardinals, who won about 9,000 games straight before they lost.
17. Yes, I was going to get to the NL after you said the Yankees.
I just wanted to prove that I know something. But the Yankees are the most streaky team in the history of mankind, of any sport possible. They go on this great 13-game winning streak, and then they lose probably 14 games immediately after. They're as streaky gets. And of course, we played the Red Sox to break the streak. That was fun. It was so fun to beat the Red Sox when the Red Sox are like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna clinch the playoffs," and it's like, "Yeah, you've been swept, pal." But when you said the Mariners, I forgot the Mariners existed. I forgot they were even a team. So you said the Mariners, my face just lit up. They still exist. So good for them. If the Yankees miss the playoffs, which isn't gonna happen because we're winning the World Series, I wouldn't want if the Yankees miss the playoffs, Blue Jays Mariners is so much better than anyone versus the Red Sox. I don't care if the Red Sox get smoked.
I agree with you there.
Let's have the young teams show up, but the Yankees are winning the World Series. Doesn't matter. We hit dingers, and that's all that matters in baseball. The old Kent Murphy rule. Dingers, dingers, and dingers. And we're the best team in baseball. It was so fun. I was preparing for a poker night, sitting down, eating some pasta, and the Yankees just smoke the Red Sox. It's just yes, please. It's great. We're winning everything. As soon as it comes back, Stanton's hitting dingers now. Stanton was cold. He's hitting dingers. Judge's going to hit dingers. Dingers, dingers, and dingers. You don't need anything else in baseball. Just dingers, dingers, and more dingers. That's all I need to say.
All right, well, we're going to switch over to the NL now. Like Mike said, the Cardinals won 17 straight games. And basically, obviously, that boosted them into the playoffs. Even though they didn't win their division, they got a wild card spot. But at the beginning of August, they had about an 8% chance to make playoffs at the time. And now they got the second wild card spot. The problem with that is the Cardinals will most likely lose that wild card, in my opinion, because they're going to be either matched up against the Giants or the Dodgers. Now, it sucks. It really does suck if you're a Cardinals fan, because I think the Giants have done everything they needed to do to keep that division lead. So I think the Giants, they played the Padres in the last 3 games in the series. I think the Giants hold on to win that division. That sends the Dodgers into that wild card game against the Cardinals. The Cardinals have already announced their wild card starter. They're starting Adam Wainwright. He's 40 years old, but he's won 17 games this year and has had a good August and September. The problem is you're facing the Dodgers, the team with all the money, the team with all the firepower. It's weird because I don't even know who the Dodgers are going to start. I think it's between 2 people. It's probably going to be Max Scherzer, but it could also be Walker Buehler. And then, if necessary, they're going to have to bring Buehler out of the bullpen. So it's just firepower after firepower after firepower for the Dodgers. That's why I don't see the Dodgers really losing in the wild card. And that's the thing about that is they'll see the Giants after that wild card game. And that might be one of the best NLDS series because during the season, that's the season series between the Dodgers and Giants was really, really good. So I'm very excited about that. The Dodgers close their season against the Brewers. And Mike, I know you want to talk about Devin Williams, who I think he was celebrating or something.
He was celebrating. He was angry. Which I hope it's anger.
He punched a wall and broke his hand, sent him out for the season. And just keep in mind that Devin Williams is one of the best relievers in the league. He won Rookie of the Year last year. And now the Brewers are without him for the playoffs. That's like, what are you doing? I mean, they have the best closer, one of the best closers in the league, and Josh Hader already. But Craig Counsell, the Brewers head coach, relies on his bullpen so much that Devin Williams is one of the most valuable people on that team, and he decides to punch the wall and break his hand. So, you got any comments on that, Mike?
That's hilarious. I mean, yeah, there have been stories like this. It's usually college kids who pull stuff like this, not legit MLB players just punching walls. That's great. So Brewers will be a fade. I would think they will lose in the first round. I know nothing about baseball, though, so take that with a grain of salt. But another thing I wanted to talk about was how bad, just out of curiosity, Bennett, can you inform the people how bad the Diamondbacks are?
Awful. The Diamondbacks are awful. So they're so bad.
Yeah, they are 54 games back in the West. So just to put that into context, that's terrible. But the Padres, the team everybody loved, have a worse record than the Orioles, Diamondbacks, and Nationals in the past 7+ weeks. The Padres were right there. The Padres were that team that everyone loved. Tatis, Machado, they're winning it all. Everyone loves them. They've been eliminated because they can't make the playoffs because they stink. Under 500 because they have a worse record than 3 of the worst teams in baseball in the last 7 weeks. So, I mean, 11-31 since August 10th. I mean, take that for what you will. That's a collapse if I've ever seen collapses. The worst record in the MLB in that time. They were right there to make the playoffs. They were 2.5 games, behind the Dodgers. They were right there to make the playoffs. Crash, burned, everything down. That's my big story. That's all I got.
I'll admit, the Cardinals winning 17 games straight really didn't help. No. But
they're under 500.
Yeah. But the Padres, I think I talked about it in one of the first MLB episodes or first MLB talks we did in the podcast. I was like, yo, the Padres are the real deal. And like they can beat the Dodgers. And now they're not even making the playoffs. So huge thumbs down, like the Mets, just organization in general. Thumbs down for the Padres. And so that'll do it for us. We got a few shout outs. I have 2 shout outs now. Shout out to Team USA for winning the Ryder Cup. Europeans, just go away, just we cooked your butts, cooked your asses. Jesus, like we made it look easy. Justin Thomas was just yelling at the crowd, like firing people up. Bryson DeChambeau played really damn good. Bryson gave Brooks Koepka a hug, Michael.
I didn't see this. How did I not see this?
I think it's on Brooks Koepka's Instagram, but that happened. Scotty Scheffler, one of the quieter names that people don't know about. He played exceptionally well. So shout out Team USA and shout out to my fantasy team for winning a game. I won last week, scored 119 points. Thank you for Aaron Jones and George Kittle for getting me those last points that I needed. But I won everyone after.
I was rooting for you. I was rooting for you.
Yes, thank you. And I will give it to Michael. Michael is undefeated. He is 3-0, the only undefeated team in our fantasy league. So congrats to undefeated and possibly soon to be undisputed. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, good season so far. Season's not over yet, guys. Still got to keep working. Let's be real. The season's not over. We don't celebrate after 3 games. We celebrate championships. And that's what we do at Team Undefeated and Undisputed. But my shout-outs. Number 1, the Big East. Why am I shouting out the Big East? It's this month. The Big East. College basketball opening day. Big East Red Zone. Big East basketball Red Zone. That is the coolest thing ever. That is awesome. So opening day college basketball season, I think it's November 9th. Start the countdown, baby. I mean, oh my God, Big East Red Zone. FS1 is just a Big East Red Zone like channel. Game to game to game to game. That is awesome. Do that more. I need more of that in college basketball. That is awesome. Love it. Shout out the Big East for that. And Going to fights just because that's what I want to talk about now. Dan Hooker, shout out to Dan Hooker. It took him 6 weeks to get home following a fight he had in January because of New Zealand's COVID rules. New Zealand's COVID rules gets him again because he has to land 14 hours before making weight for his fight. He has to cut weight in the air, make weight, fought, won his fight, and then just today, he took a fight against Islam Makhachev in UFC 267 in 4 weeks. So, meaning he's not going to see his family again, go back to New Zealand. Their COVID rules are OD. I think he is moving to the United States because of this. But Islam Makhachev is the guy in the division no one wants to fight. Dan Hooker is a badass, absolute badass. Takes a fight. He's like, I just got to find a way to get there. I find a way, gets there, gets to Vegas from New Zealand, which is like a gazillion hour long flight. It's as impressive as it gets. Shout out to Dan Hooker. He's a badass. And shout out to Jamar Chase. I'm starting you tonight. I think you're going off. Jamar Chase, big Jamar Chase game. Book it. If I'm wrong, no one will know, even though this will still be in the video. Big Jamar Chase game. We get over. It's how Team Undefeated Undisputed does. Take some dubs. Let's go.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining. Great episode today, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.